Hello and welcome to the artifact review for Sprint 7 for the Music Gladiator team. Here we have an updated login page with different UI changes, UI elements that were changed according to a meeting that we had with Natalie in the middle of our sprint, where we brought her a Figma chart that showed updated UI changes that she wanted to make, and we were able to reproduce on Figma to be able to go through with her and figure out what changes she wanted to go through with and what changes she wanted to finalize as well for the final production. Here we have the Figma that was part of the task for this week for creating the first four major activity creation setups for the UI. So if we log in, we see that for now we have a temporary but updated UI for activity creation that allows her to select modes for activities that she wants to choose and be able to create the appropriate chords, settings that she needs to be able to upload activities. And this was all done this week, as well as new activity being created, which is sending a post request that actually ties into our backend that we have in MongoDB. Some of the updated MongoDB code can be seen in many of the merges that we had during this sprint. A lot of them tie into our UI as well. In terms of programming and actual code, this was probably one of our larger sprints. As you see, we had 57,000 additions and 2,700 deletions, 380 change files. This is mainly server backend, account routes, account controllers. These are things that needed to be changed in order to tie our backend and create an API to be able to, or at least start doing the steps of creating an API that can communicate between the front end and what we have in the back end. So in terms of code, there really is a lot here to process, and we felt that in terms of progress for the overall project, this was one of our meatier sprints. I mean, as you can see, it's a lot of code, and I mean, I'm not gonna have not loading every single one of them individually, but things that were changed were really integral to the foundation of our project, and we were happy with being able to make that sort of progress as well. So here we have the project plan report. We have our previous sprint details and our updated sprint details. You see we have update HTML to customer needs, keep working on switching all backend code to a web API. Updating HTML was most of the UI changes that we made. We have our project snapshot and our sprint breakdown charts. Our breakdown charts usually tend to look more like the ones that we have for this sprint. We made a lot of progress this sprint, and we had pretty good managing of our tasks in terms of time and how much making progress along the week, as contrary to our previous sprint where we seem to have more of a bloated period towards the middle. We have our link to our minutes, and sponsor feedback mainly included Natalie's comments about UI changes. She was very happy. She was elated, to be quite frank, with the progress that we had made, and for her to be able to sit down with us for almost 2 hours and just finalize all of these UI changes. It was definitely one of the more positive meetings and experiences that we've had. Feature changes, something, how we've been talking about creation of a web API, front end UI feedback implementation, basic endpoints for the activities in the web API. That also includes our technical challenges. We felt that since we had so much code this sprint, that there was a lot more technical challenges that took up a lot more of our time, but we were able to make the progress that we wanted for this sprint at least. And a document containing the basic information about the activity is stored, as well as having a relation to the set of data points in another document that will tell the application what types of musical notation should be displayed. So we have a good bit of documentation and a good bit of progress and some good feedback from Natalie as well, which we were very happy with. And finally, we have our sprint, which our goals for most of our user stories involved adding functionality with activities in the backend, tying the API to activities, and updating UI according to changes that were made after meetings with Natalie that went on for 2 meetings during the week. Both meetings went on for easily over an hour. So we felt happy with our progress so far. And we think that the state of the project in our sprint is moving along great. So that should be it for our artifact review. Mainly, as I was saying before, the changes were updating UI elements, and a big chunk of the work was tying this activity creation to the backend. So we felt that we met our sprint goals, and we are happy with the position that our project is in. Thank you for watching.